have Dilip Bhat who's also joining into our conversation, so let's get him into the picture. Dilip, hi, afternoon. Let's try and brighten the mood up a little bit and talk about the big gainer today, which is the new listing, Narayana Hrudayalaya. It's now at 330 rupees. For investors who missed out in the IPO, would you advise buying it now, or do you think that it's a bit too late?
Well, I think we haven't done a very detailed analysis of this, Sonia, on this particular stock. But I think very broadly, yes, this would be a stock for a long-term investors. And I think it has run up in the short run. There could be correction also. There could be some profit booking also. But I think slightly on a gradual basis, I would still expect the channel to be upwards. So yes, I would recommend investors to buy this particular stock slightly on a longer-term basis. I mean, people who want to book short-term profits, they can certainly do that. But on a slightly longer term basis, this can give a reasonably good return of at least 25 to 30% over the next 2 years per annum.
Okay, by the way, the mid-cap index is again also slipping back into the red, and there are a couple of stocks where we've seen intraday declines. Let's pull out the stock of Sri Renuka. Even Torrent Power, for that matter, is still up 12%, but slipped a bit. Opto Circuits has slipped, Sri Renuka has slipped a bit. Lanco Infratech is now trading at the low point of the day. In fact, the Nifty is also almost getting back at the low point of the day. And the stock that's tracking now is Maruti Suzuki. Pull out the intraday chart of Maruti. That stock is now down about 2%. Would also be pertinent to point out that over the last 3 or 4 days, we have seen the yen equation really turn unfavorable. From 122, it's down to 118. And that's also clearly playing a bit of a part in the way the Maruti Suzuki stock has reacted over the last few days. Dilip, a word on some of these big losers today, and how would you approach them? I mean, ITC is collapsing as we speak, ICICI Bank as well, and now even Maruti is joining that list.
So I think as long as the FIs continue to be in the sell mode, the names which you're talking about, they are among the most liquid names. So they continue to take it on their chin as far as the selling is concerned. And to add to that, there are, those bouts of news which really adds, which really compounds the perceptions about some of these companies. Like, for example, ITC, I think we are going to run into a budget which probably at the same time is going to be very severe for them. So I think those expectations will certainly weigh. And as far as Maruti was concerned, I think all of us probably were thinking that everything is favorable, but there is one event which will make them very vulnerable, and that is yen. And possibly if that really plays out, even that will have some impact on the stock, because that's one of the best performing stocks in the front line. So I would say that yes, in the front line there is going to be there's a good amount of hammering which has taken place, and some of them are trading at new lows. But I would really look at them very selectively, slightly on a longer term basis.
Let's get back to our own markets. We have about 10 minutes to go. Dilip, I wanted your thoughts on Reliance Industries, because that stock is, sort of bucking the falling trend. It's now trading above 1,000 rupees. There's an expectation that this quarter's earnings will be good as well. What are your own thoughts, and what would you advise investors to do at 1,030?
Well, Reliance Industries, we all know, has been such a dog in this particular market on an overall basis, except for the last 1 or 2 months where probably it has outperformed. But by and large, I think looking at the way the things are unfolding, maybe on the performance front also, I think the performance is going to be, as what they exhibited even last time, is going to be better even over the next 2 quarters. And maybe even the rollout of the 4G also possibly is going to help them. But all in all, I think the stock itself has gone nowhere, and I think that itself provides a good support from the current levels. So more or less, I think it looks a lot more attractive than what it used to be. And I think even from the current levels, I would think that Reliance would give a proactive return of something like 15 to 20% over the next 12 to 15 months.
Okay.
What about you? What's the view coming in on Maruti now?
So, well, I think Maruti, I would really wait for a while, because it's a very well-owned stock amongst all the institutional investors and the big investors. And as what I said, that if the FIs continue to be in the sell mode, these are one of the few liquid stocks. And all of us, as what we were worrying, the yen angle, and if that really plays out, I think that would impact Maruti for some time. So I would stay away from the script for some more time to come.
Okay.
One stock that has seen a bit of a recovery today is Cadila Health. Of course, the stock has been pummeled out of shape after the US FDA observations came through. Dilip, you track pharma closely. You know, the observations that came in from the US FDA were a bit disconcerting in the sense that they did mention that a lot of the pharma practices saw a bit of violation, etc., by the company. Would that worry you a little bit?
Sure, I think going by the letter and the spirit, by the spirit of the letter, I think it will hurt Cadila for some more time to come. But I think a lot of it has already been taken it into the price. So if you were to see on a risk-return basis, yes, there could be some downside, very much possible, and maybe it will languish for some more time to come. But on a longer-term basis, I think they will still continue to fare reasonably well.
All right. That's some news coming in on Bharat Forge. The December Class A truck orders in the US have gone up on a month-on-month basis. Remember, for the last almost 8 months, the Class A truck orders in the US have been falling. And the 68% growth it will look like it's a big growth month-on-month because they've been falling for so many months. But now, finally, we've seen some amount of respite come through. So that stock is now reacting to it, up almost about 3% or so. A quick comment from your end, Dilip, on Bharat Forge and what your own expectation is. The stock has recovered significantly from the 800 rupee levels.
Well, I think Bharat Forge is one of the stocks which you only look to buy at lower levels. So maybe if you are a trader, you could do a bit of trading. But I think on a longer term basis, it would always pay good dividends to hold on to Bharat Forge. I think some of the fundamentals are really falling in place for Bharat Forge. And I think some of the verticals of business, which probably has not seen good amount of traction, I think that also will be coming back. Even regarding the defense part of it, I think that also will get increasingly more visibility. So all in all, I think Bharat Forge would be a stock which you would look to buy at lower prices without any doubt.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Dilip because I don't think we have so much time. Dilip, do you track Torrent Power by any chance? That stock is hit a fresh 52-week high today, and it seems to be a big beneficiary of the revised LNG contract with Qatar, in the sense that 80% of its capacity is gas-based, so they will have cheaper gas. By any chance, would you be bullish on that stock?
Sonia, no, not really. We are not tracking the stock, so unable to comment on that.
Okay, Mr. Dilip, take a break on that note, but we thank all of our guests for joining us and taking us through the last 1 hour.